Kia ora, welcome to Politics from Canterbury. We're basically three sort of historical sort of dudes that like talking about politics from Canterbury in Ireland, which is a vital electorate. Kevin, Liam and Jared. Liam, could you give us the rundown of what we're trying to communicate with our audience?
Kiwi Metal, we're going to be talking about the party policies of 2023 from all of the numerous parties. We're going to be talking about Nationals lists, the Ireland electorate, and whatever we would like to talk about at the end of the video.
Okay, party policies. Jared, ACT. I'll throw out to you. What's ACT's main party policy? What are the people out there that are voting for ACT? What are they voting for?
Not a country divided by race. I think that's also
that's what we saw on the billboards.
Yeah, I saw that on a billboard. In terms of main ones, I don't really know, man. I know National and I know Labour's one, but I don't really know ACT.
ACT's got a lot of reducing numbers in the public service and potentially blowing up ministries as a joke, I believe. Which is, it's not a joke. It's not
Truly, why did he make the joke about blowing up the Pacific Ministries?
He made the joke because the Ministry of Pacific Peoples had a leaving function that was rather expensive and a little bit silly, and there's been slapped hands all around. And basically, according to David Seymour, the leader of ACT, he always makes a joke about sending Guy Fawkes in to blow up ministries, and he says it a number of times, and it's always hilarious. We're not sure if it is hilarious. Perhaps it's alternative comedy, kind of like the Young Ones. I'm not sure.
Perhaps he's trying to spread awareness about Pare Haka.
Hey.
Disguised as Guy Fawkes.
Yeah,
we all know Pare Haka happened on the same day as Guy Fawkes.
David Seymour's actually his whole ending racial division is
Anyway, Guy Fawkes was an English Catholic that was hung, drawn and quartered and did not blow up the Houses of Parliament. So even if David Seymour was joking, he needs to take more care with his historical jokes. Liam, what about Labour, GST of fruit and vegetables?
GST of fruit and vegetables, and we're in it for you.
Yeah, Chris Hipkins is in it for you.
What do I feel about fruit and vegetables? Reducing the tax that everyone has to pay.
Yeah.
Everyone benefits. Numerous economists are saying that it's not going to work for some reason, and it's not the help that the poor need, which I think...
These economists are bleeding heart people. They are worried about the poor. Thank you very much, the economists.
I think the poor need is any help that they can get, and GST is a big help for everyone, including the poor. Like you mentioned earlier when we were having a yarn before, the rich even get cheaper truffles, and why would National not support why would a Libertarian or ACT or National not support the reduction of taxes? I kind of don't understand it.
It also
makes sense to me.
It's also New Zealand First policy. New Zealand First supports GST of fruit and vegetables. The Party Māori support all tax or food, I believe.
All GST of food, I believe.
GST for all kai. And the Green Party, they are a GST of fruit and vegetables. I just want to briefly talk about the fruit and vegetables and that they're healthy. That's why I think the tax is there. And I had the idea that you're supposed to, at the same time you take tax or fruit and vegetables, you're supposed to put a tax on sugar.
Sugar tax. I was just going to
bring
that up. Yeah.
But no one's. And I think the Greens might sort of be pushing for a sugar tax, but I'm not sure they've released that one yet. Anyway, that's the idea, is that you tax the bad and then assist the good. And so it's more a health thing than
cigarettes, for example.
Yeah, cigarettes have taken an absolute punishing.
They shouldn't have.
Well, maybe they should have. We're about good health outcomes. We're moving quickly. Let's talk about Ireland. We don't all live in Ireland, but we all live in the wider Otautahi, Christchurch, sort of the bigger Canterbury region. Ireland is one of those electorates that people are trying to make exciting. We'll try and make it exciting because we live here. Ireland's where Top's standing. That's why people are excited. They're excited for Raf Manji and Top, the little party that's on less than 1% that gets quite a lot of airtime. Do we think Raf's got a chance in Ireland, and if so, why?
I mean, when Top first made their appearance on the political scene, I actually voted for them. They got me.
We've got a Top voter in the room.
Well, I was. This was 7 years ago at this point. But yeah, no, they got me with their policies. I thought they were very smart. They looked at things that criminalised, and they're like, well, this is actually a money-making opportunity for the state, and we can take burdens off people if we can find alternative ways to generate income. So they had a whole medical marijuana thing drummed up, which is kind of taken off in New Zealand anyway.
They've got a land tax. Liam, do you think the land tax is going to go down like the bomb in this particular island, Waimari, Fendleton electorate?
What is the land tax?
The land tax is where you may have a $1 million or $2 million house, as I was hearing Raf Manji explaining, and every year you have to pay a certain amount on that tax. If you're retired, you can defer it. I think it may not be massively popular in Ireland. Could be wrong, unless there's a lot of altruistic elderly people. But I have heard that Raf Manji and Top are in the early 20s in a poll. They're not the leader. I believe Hamish Campbell was sort of leading the front, but
No relation to John Campbell?
no, here's no relation. I believe
Related
a lot of people are playing, silly beggars about these polls and not coming out. Here's my rumoured poll: Hamish Campbell, late 20s, Sarah Pallett and Raf Manji, lower 20s. So it's all they're the three to watch. It's a race. Hamish Campbell, if he's a horse, has got his nose ahead. He's not a horse. He's a human being.
It's a reptile, isn't it?
And this is a segue. This is a segue into Nationals list. Hamish Campbell's low 50s on Nationals list. So the only way to get Hamish Campbell in is basically to vote for him. He's not going to make it in low 50s.
What do you mean by Nationals list? Sorry.
So National have a list where they rank their MPs. So Christopher Luxon is number one.
The fat controller,
He's not actually a was it Thomas the Tank? Was that a Thomas the Tank Engine reference?
he looks like the fat controller. Like he really does.
No, that's his name, and it's nothing offensive. Is it?
Yeah.
No, that's all right.
He was the king of
I didn't think it
train,
was sizist.
He was the
was the king of
man
the
in
train
charge
yard.
of the tracks.
Okay, so do we think? Did anyone follow Nationals list? It's not full of diversity. Let's
All
just.
I know about Nationals, they want to put New Zealand back on track.
They do want to put New Zealand back
As
on
if we're
track.
They want to
now
fix
with
the roads
yeah,
in
we're-
24 hours. And
They want to build. National want to build more roads. Sorry, just finishing off our little thing about
Thomas
political parties.
came off the tracks.
National want to build more roads. When they're saying back on tracks, they don't mean back on the railway tracks. They don't want to. There's no railway.
Yeah,
we,
which
we
is-
sold those. We sold those.
I've heard though, like truly, I've heard a rumor that Kiwi. This is hard for me to say. Kiwi Rail
Yeah.
is thinking about renationalising. Has anyone heard about this?
That would be fantastic.
No, but I did see Shane Jones wants to put the K back into iwi with Kiwi on it. That's true. There's a video of Shane Jones.
What does David Ray say about it?
We're not.
David Ray.
That's someone that didn't turn up today. Okay, let's
Our
wrap this up.
biggest fan.
Let's wrap this up. Thank you, David, and you will be on the podcast at one day.
Yeah.
Let's wrap this up with talking about what I think is going to be a very interesting election issue, and some people don't think it is, but chlorine in the water. Do we realise that Christchurch's water is totally chlorinated now, and people aren't super happy about it?
Sadly, except for a tap in Burnside.
There was.
You told me. Yeah.
There was one place you could get unchlorinated water, and many people rocked up to it. It's also in the Ireland electorate, so I'm chucking this out there for Raf Manji, Sarah Pallett, and Hamish Campbell, and the guy from the Greens, Mike Davidson from the Greens. At your debate a week from now with Bomber Bradbury, I want to hear what your view is on the water filling station that cricketers and tennis players and just general park lovers in Ireland enjoyed that is now closed because, well, maybe it's chlorinated. Either way, you cannot get the pure alpine water. Do we think this will be an election issue?
I don't think it's an election issue. Me personally,
You don't care.
I despise chlorine in the water.
Okay, you despise chlorine in the water.
Yeah.
Liam, would you like at least one place you could go for unchlorinated water?
In Dunedin, you can get it from the Spates Brewery. They have the distilled water that comes off the brewery, and you can fill up your taps outside. And Dunedin's water's like, from what I remember growing up, they're quite chlorinated.
Yeah.
So yeah, one place to
You had one place and now
opt out. Yeah.
Okay, no opting out. Okay, quick fire round of election issues. I will put Jared on the spot first.
Well, I got a rant of sorts.
Yeah,
for
yeah,
our,
rant
for
your way
our
back
Prime
in.
Minister.
Yep.
What's up with this loaded gun, man? I'm sick of democracies doing this. It's like, we need to win, so we need to throw out a policy that is surefire, that's going to get people's attention, that's going to get voters.
Mhm.
When instead of saying you're going to do something, just do it.
GST, you talking about?
I'm talking about GST off food and fruit and veg, and I'm all on board with it. I think that's good. If they could like shave $10 off a family's grocery bill, that's massive. Our grocery bills are like $180 this week. And we didn't buy outside of like the normal parameters of which we bought. We just bought the standard stuff we normally bought. Prices going up. Why does it have to be a loaded gun? Why don't you just do it? You have control of the parliament. You have the majority. Just push it through, get it done, and people will say, "Oh shit, Labour's doing something positive. I might just vote for them now."
Yeah.
Why does it have to be a loaded gun?
They're a party of action, not a party of false promises. Yeah.
Thank you for that rant, that quite quick and mostly polite rant. Liam.
Stop being purple. I mean, in terms of like the red and the blue kind of just melding together. Like actually, if you're a Labour member, really start to represent Labour. If you're a member of the blue, really start to represent like middle and like like the middle class and the small businesses. Like please, if you are going to pretend to be one of these parties, pretend a little better.
Okay, I'm a single issue fanatic. Do something about my water. I want to have one place I can get unchlorinated water when I'm playing my cricket.
Shouldn't have to pay for it.
Shouldn't have to pay for it. Thank you very much. We'll see you next week.
I thought you said